All hail Biafra. This is Biafra Liberation Army Network coming to you again. Please do subscribe, like, share, and comment.
Manuel, why don't you go?
No, you go first.
All right. Dr. William Devlin, I am the volunteer CEO of Widows and Orphans.info, which is an international humanitarian organization. And I work not only in Nigeria, but in 19 other countries around the world. I particularly work in areas where people of faith are being persecuted. And so the name of the organization is Widows and Orphans.info. So myself and my team here, Barrister Emmanuel Agebe, we've been doing humanitarian work in the hardest of places here in Nigeria. So, but when I heard the case of Sunday Jackson, this innocent man who was minding his own business, farming in Adamawa State in Numan, and he was accosted by a Fulani herdsman, Islamist, and attacked and stabbed, and then in a moment of self-defense turned the knife on the attacker, and they had a mortal combat, and the attacker perished. So I had, and then he went to jail. This was 2015, was in jail 6 years before the case was tried. Case was finally tried in 2021. I had the opportunity to go to Adamawa State in the state prison there in Yola and spend time and visit with Sunday Jackson himself, ministered to him, prayed for him, and also heard the story from his own lips. As a result of that, we started to be advocates for Sunday Jackson. We were in conclusion, we were at the hearing of his case in the Nigerian Supreme Court on Friday, March 7, 2025. He was the last of 30 cases, and when his Sunday Jackson case was announced, case dismissed. So what happened is the Supreme Court agreed with the appeals court, and now, unless there's a pardon from the gracious governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri, this young man will be hanged by the neck. So he's already been in prison 10 years, imagine that, on death row. And so we now have not only been advocating for him in Abuja, in Adamawa, but now it's become a Nigerian-wide situation.
Well, it's international
and
at this
then
point.
African, and 2 weeks ago it became Sunday Jackson, this innocent man who was defending himself and his farm. It's now become an international case.
You see all these things that is happening in Nigeria, and we think that the world is not washing. The world is washing, I can tell you. Yes, they might look and come off face, they might look and look away. But I tell you that one day, monkey go market, you know, go return. Oh yes, one day. You see all these killings, you see all this kidnap, you see all these things that is happening. Believe in me, the world is taking note. I think now the Nigerian youth are doing a 30 days run challenge, right?
For the
And we think it's not getting to the world. Don't worry. One day we will see the result of all this. Now you remember a couple of weeks ago that Jackson, I posted it on this channel. You can go back to my last video and watch it. A man called Jackson was killed. Yes, by a Fulani man. Anyway, just take a little time, watch this video. If you have not watched that video, please go down, you'll see the video and you watch it. All right, watch this one, then you drop your comment on the comment section. This is a proof that the world is watching on what is happening in Nigeria.
And so we now have not only been advocating for him in Abuja, in Adamawa, but now it's become a Nigerian-wide situation.
Well, it's international at this
then
point.
African, and 2 weeks ago it became Sunday Jackson, this innocent man who was defending himself and his farm. It's now become an international case, and we're very grateful that God is using us to promote Sunday Jackson, and we're encouraging people to write to the governor and to pray that Governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri, would graciously pardon this young man.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you've heard, we came across Dr. William Devlin by accident here today. We're here representing other victims of oppression of the Nigerian state. There was a guy who was sent to, he has been in police custody for 50 days because he did a TikTok video accusing the wife of the president of some immorality. He was sent to jail. He was supposed to appear in court today. They did not bring him, and the court has adjourned. So we just came back from the police station, only to find our lovely brother here, Emmanuel Ogebe, who he and I have been also fighting together, and sometimes and against each other. Sometimes in the US, yes,
eras of Abacha,
Abacha, up to Yaradua,
exactly,
and all that. So I'm glad that we are also involved in this. We all have a duty to get Samuel Jackson out of this unjust, unlawful, and inhuman condition of legal limbo that has been
10 years
validated by the Supreme Court. And it's happening at the time that these same Marelos are killing people all the way from Maiduguri to Port Harcourt.
with impunity.
Yes, they're killing people in their farms with impunity. Whereas we do not classify this as an ethnic issue, we classify it as a failure of those in government who have the duty to protect citizens who have refused to get involved and to do what is right. So, ladies and gentlemen, you have heard it all. This is Samuel Jackson that we have to fight for again, and we want to ensure that he gets out of this cul-de-sac into which he's been put. So we are calling on the governor of Adamawa State, to immediately commute this sentence and grant Mr. Samuel Jackson pardon, immediate pardon, so that he can reunite with his family. And we also ask that he be compensated. And generally, we call on the Nigerian government to protect farmers across this country, because it is the only way to bring about food security.
Yes.
You cannot be having hunger ravage in land, even though our hunger is inflicted by corruption and irresponsibility. But one of the ways we can solve our economic problem is to have our farmers protected in their farms so that they can produce for those who might want to consume.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Please, you have a word to add.
I want to say that it looks like on this planet there are two countries that worship cows. One is the Hindus, and then we in Nigeria, because cows seem to have a greater protection and constitutional rights than the Nigerian citizen. Now, what is very upsetting to me is that we have a court system that will contort the meanings of the constitution to accommodate the follies and vices of politicians. But in a situation where the constitution clearly says that this judgment should have been rendered within 90 days, it was rendered 167 days afterwards. And they didn't even pick up on this to try and help this man out. Some of the things that have been claimed in the judgment is that he should have run away. But the evidence shows that he was stabbed in the leg. How does the person who is stabbed in the leg run? Secondly, these Fulani headsmen are very agile. They live in the forest, and so they're in better shape. And Sunday said he ran, but the man overtook him. So these are some of the reasons why we're concerned about this judgment. The judgment says that to all extents possible, he fulfilled and met the threshold for being leading the defense of self-defense, because he was not the aggressor. It was the attacker's weapon that he used to strike back. But they said because the man stabbed him 2 times and he stabbed the man 3 times, that it is excessive. That does not even make any sense. Common sportsmanship that we know, the rule of every game is that the person who scores the most wins. This was a game, a battle for life. Only one person was coming out of this battle alive, and that each person wanted to be the one. The fact that he stabbed him only 3 times, in fact, in my mind, tells me that he was a very good person. But because any other person in that situation would have stabbed him up to several times to make sure that, first of all, you came, you destroyed my farm with your cattle. I spoke to you, then you wanted to kill me. He was a victim of double assault that day, and he defended himself. And after suffering for 10 years in prison, the Nigerian government wants to kill him. Very honestly, Sunday Jackson, it would have been better for him if he had been killed that day than to suffer what he has suffered.
Yes.
His wife has died. Before she died, she gave birth to a child that he has never seen. The child is now 10 years old without a father. And then after all the suffering, you want to kill him again. Wouldn't it have been better for him to have died 10 years ago than to die now? And so he has already served time for an offense he didn't commit. He woke up that day not planning to fight anyone or kill anyone. He was trying to kill his family. Nigeria has failed this revolution. Our legal system has failed these people. And he's a poor man. That is why, but for the grace of God, if we hadn't spoken out on this issue, his life would have just gone just like that.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
And we're very grateful, in conclusion, we're very grateful for His Royal Majesty Chief Daniel Shaga, the Hamabachama there in Numan, who we had the opportunity to meet with last Friday, and he brought together the mother and father of Sunday Jackson. He also brought in the father of the man that was killed. And the father of the man, through His Royal Majesty Daniel Hamabachama there in Numan, that father of the man who was killed actually wrote a letter to Governor Fintiri of Adamawa State wanting the governor to pardon Sunday Jackson. I have a copy of that letter in my case here, and this is the letter that the father of the deceased man sent a letter to and sent a letter to Governor Fintiri and to the AG of Adamawa State asking, this is the father of the man that was killed, and he was with us there on Friday in the palace of Hamabachawa, and we had the opportunity to just see a great deal of forgiveness going on. And so here's the father of the man that is dead, and he's asking the governor of Adamawa State, Governor Fintiri, to exercise his pardon authority and pardon and release Sunday Jackson.
So thank you very much.
In addition, we'll be organizing signature all over the world, calling on the governor of Adamawa State to pardon Sunday Jackson. The father of the deceased has already forgiven him and has instructed the governor to pardon him. This is the letter.
Yes.
You can't cry more than the bereaved.
Exactly.
So he has already pardoned the boy in his own words. So I don't see any reason why the boy should be hanged.
And that's why we're saying that this is
the family that
double
bears the greatest brunt
in the first
has already
place,
forgiven him.
A system that
And
could not
through
protect
this boy,
him
this
is
Sunday
now
Jackson of a
persecuting
person did not just kill an innocent person. He killed someone that came to kill him.
It's self-defense.
It was self-defense. And it's granted anywhere in the world to defend yourself, unless you are not practicing a democracy in Nigeria, unless we don't have a constitution in Nigeria. We'll be collecting signatures all over the world, calling on Adamawa State government.
We should start an online campaign too.
Yes, we campaign online.
All right.